Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin continues to be in this correction. It is quite interesting here. Bitcoin is definitely respecting our resistance area. If you missed the previous videos, what we're currently tracking is a wave 1 to the downside of the September high. I did explain it in the previous video in more detail, so check out the previous video for a little bit more context. I also showed the daily chart, but I don't show the daily chart in every video. It would be very repetitive. But we had 5 waves down, which I call a wave 1 in the yellow count, which is our primary scenario at the moment. Then 3 waves up in a wave 2, okay, so WXY probably, into yesterday's resistance area. We reacted to it, came down in 5 waves, and now the move up again looks quite corrective at the moment. So I count that as a wave 2 of the lower degree, wave 2 within circle wave 3. That should take us to around about 24K. But obviously the condition is that we do not break above 26,670. Okay, if we do that, this wave 2 scenario will get less likely. It would, however, not be invalidated. Invalidation will occur above yesterday's high. If we break above yesterday's high, which is unfortunately what ETH did, then despite the 5 waves down, which is quite interesting, then it would first of all simply reset wave 2, circle wave 2. So I would pay attention to yesterday's resistance box again. So it is still relevant in a sense. And I will, oops, didn't want to do that in a second. And I will still leave it up. That's still a relevant resistance area. If this micro wave 2 gets broken to the upside, which it might do if it carries on, then the resistance area from yesterday remains relevant. So it might just do that now, I don't know. But it's always worth knowing if one scenario breaks, you know, what is the likely next one. Just a bit surprised because it was obviously a 5-wave move down, or it looks like one at least. Okay, sometimes it's obviously a very small time frame we're dealing with. So you can hardly get more obvious 5 waves, okay? So sometimes it's just what it is. And yeah, I would currently count that as a WXY structure actually, where I would say this is probably a WX, and then here maybe just the Y wave still unfolding. But yeah, it needs to hold definitely below yesterday's high in order to keep this scenario here alive. And if it pushes higher, which it tries to do at the moment, because it's pressing really resistance, then it will first check here yesterday's high again, then 26,920, which is the golden ratio, 27,180. And if that level breaks, I mean, then we have other things to do. Then we need to revise the larger degree scenario here at the moment. Okay, then we have to look at, okay, is it still the right assumption that this wave 2 finished here? So we're observing that. But if you look at this, if we zoom out a little bit, if we pay attention to all of this, you can see that circle wave 2 did not retrace a lot. It only got to the 50% retracement level, so it still has a lot of space. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm observing at the moment. And what you can do, for example, is pay attention to the ascending trend line here. Yeah, we could add an ascending trend line to the chart. If that breaks to the downside, we might have a first indication that wave 3 has started. Then obviously the X wave low at 26,322 is additional confirmation that the 3rd wave down has started. And best confirmation is, of course, when we break below the wave 1 low at 26,090. Short term, the trend is up, and as long as the trend line is being followed, it continues to be up. Similar situation on the ETH chart. So we need to pay attention here to reactions to resistance in this area. At the moment, I don't have any yet. Okay, but next key resistance level is a very meaningful one, 26,670. And yeah, I mentioned to you what the alternative wave count would be. Obviously just focusing on the smaller structures here, while not so much is going on. The bigger picture hasn't changed. And yeah, all the levels should be clear. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.